Welcome to the podcast, friends, where male perspective never ends.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to the Daily Dose of Down. Mansplaining The Handmaid's Tale. Right. Oh, today we are going to be covering episodes 4, 5, and 6 while I take Wiggler out here over the shelf-top sanctuary. Oh, this is an all par 3 course, so should be some pretty badass shots, hopefully. So that should be entertaining as well. Alright. So, episode 4 shows up, starts off Luke and June hanging out with all the rebels, and Luke is all like crazy ready to blow shit up, and June's kinda, like, good for you, but we'll talk about it later. And Mark shows up, lets Luke know, hey, your case was dismissed. So, alright, cool. Apparently all that intel they gave him about the commanders paid off. So Mark wants him on a flight to Alaska ASAP. Oh. Shit. Oh, man. Well, of course, Luke is not super interested in just running off to Alaska. He's ready to fight. So, shit. Angela gives a picture to Lawrence, and Naomi is trying to get a little sexy time out of Lawrence, and Lawrence just ain't having it. And Naomi is like, hey, you gonna be a high commander, like, you need to set your priorities. These men, it's virility, sex, it's all they give a shit about. Oh boy. Of course, that's the first mentioning. Yeah, it turns out Nick's father-in-law is not the high commander, but apparently there's a whole nother set of commanders known as high commanders, and once again, the hierarchy is not very clear. I mean, like, I feel like Margaret Atwood really thought out the rape part, like, really well, and the government part really horrible. Straight up. Like, it's really, like, at this point now, I'm having a hard time enjoying it, but, oh boy. Obviously, I'm finishing out, though, because we're on the final season anyways, but... Alright, so back to Luke. Luke wants to stay. June is like, no, dude, we gotta go. These people aren't professionals. They're just gonna get themselves killed. Now they have a little meeting about choosing the targets, and they decide it is gonna be the attack on Jezebels. Of course, June is like, what are you guys, fucking nuts? You're just gonna go in there totally blind and, like, attack Jezebels. Like, and what about, like, the people in there? The girls that are already there? Like, are you just gonna, like, just collateral damage them? Like, what the fuck? So, June convinces them to do a dry run. They go there, map out Jezebels, get somebody to warn the other girls, all that shit. Of course, when June finds out that Janine's been there, June's like, oh shit, I'm definitely going on that dry run. And Moira's like, oh bullshit you are, I'm going on it. And so, of course, they eventually come to the logical conclusion of they both go on it. arrives in New Bethlehem, is greeted by Serena, and very quickly meets her sister Gina, who arrives. We're then treated to Lawrence's promotion ceremony where he's become a high commander. You see, once again, this guy's like the father of Gilead, and like he's super responsible for all of this world, but like he still apparently has to be promoted. Like this really doesn't make a whole lot of sense, I'm telling you, man. What the hell? But anyway, so Lawrence is a high commander now. And in the meantime, Nick's father-in-law, Wharton, the high commander, he's got a boner for Serena. Which, hey, you know, good for him. Serena's, she's got that new baby. She needs a new husband. Let's see here. We get a little scene between Nick and Rita. Rita asking Nick, hey, is this actually gonna be better or what? And Nick seems to be reassuring her that it will be. Let's see here. Oh, I see Lawrence teaching Angela to read. Interesting. Thought that wasn't supposed to be, but I guess since they're going to be living in New Bethlehem, they can. So, alright. Serena and the High Commander start dancing in the street, and Lydia sees it, and she is just overjoyed with that. Like, woo, yay, Serena will have a husband, and the High Commander will have a wife and a child, and I'll be good. Ooh, yay, yay. Alrighty, so Luke and June, after the big fight, have decided, you know, let's, instead of fighting, let's go together. Alright. Basically. And then at that point, we are treated to the credits where Lawrence is reading to Angela. And that is the end of episode 4. Alright, so episode 5 opens up. June and Moira are disguised as Marthas. And they're in the back of a truck again. And it happens a lot in this show. Nick's hanging out with the High Commander. Well, High Commander Wharton. He tells him, hey, that Guardian that was shot on your watch, you know, he's waking up in the hospital. So, he'll be able to tell us who did that. Shit. That's a big problem for Nick. You don't need that. Oh. Now we got Lydia and Serena get a nice little back and forth in this episode where they pretty much mock each other for being incredibly stupid and believing all the bullshit about this country. So, that's interesting. Serena does ultimately, though, offer Lydia the idea of the handmaids retiring to New Bethlehem, working in the fertility center. Of course, Lydia's like, hey, that's a divine calling. Oh, boy. Oh, got the quote from Lydia that's good. Can't waste a womb. Gotta love that one. Alright, so let's see here. June is Jezebel's. So Is told a bunch of commanders are expecting. Janine is leading the girls in singing as she usually does. Oh, the commanders come in, and Bell, the new commander asshole, who is definitely gonna die a horrible death eventually, but hasn't yet to my knowledge. He comes in and starts fucking with June, who still is disguised as a Martha, and the Marthas hide their faces. Lawrence intervenes, not knowing that it's June, but just because he really doesn't like Belle, apparently. Oh boy. In the meantime, Nick goes to see the Guardian at the hospital, and he sees his wife, and the Guardian's wife is like, "Oh my God, Commander Blaine, you'll find out who did this to my boy, right?" "Oh yeah, definitely." And so after the wife leaves, Nick's like, "Yeah, I'll stay with him for a little bit." And then he's like, "Yep, gonna have to murder this guy." Shit. Oh, let's see here. So, Belle and Lawrence have another little back and forth over Janine. Lawrence is like, "Yeah, I'm taking this one." Takes Janine in the back, and again, he's just like, "Yeah, we're not gonna do anything. Just, that guy's a dickhead, so fuck him." Of course, Janine's like, "You're not really a good guy. You're just not as terrible as them." Boy. Also, Lawrence, though, he hurts Belle's feelings, letting him know that nobody respects him. Apparently, even in Gilead, in this very young country, there's nepotism. Apparently, his father is somebody important. Again, such an odd hierarchy system that's very confusing. I mean, Lawrence is a high commander, but he's getting fucked around with by frat boy here, successfully. Oh well. Of course, Janine lets Lawrence know, "Hey, you want to know what they're really gonna do? You can listen in through that hole in the wall." Which Lawrence then hears all the commanders like, "Yeah, Lawrence, we're gonna use this new Bethlehem idea to trap all the traitors." And then, bam, fuck that, and just turn it back into Gilead. "Yeah, we'll probably kill Lawrence while we're at it." Belle's like, "I won't kill Lawrence." And they're like, we'll kill Lawrence if we really have to. Yeah. I don't know. I guarantee you Belle is going to get a horrible, horrible death. The show is all about that shit. Alright. June and Moira, later on, they get to talk with Janine and be like, "Hey, we got a fucking plan. We're gonna kill all these commanders, and you gotta get the girls out next week." June toys with the idea of, "Hey, let's get Janine out now, but yo, dude, you need her there so you can fucking get everybody else out. It defeats the whole purpose of what you just did." Alrighty then. Alrighty, so Janine's gotta go back, and Moira and June. Oh, this is an interesting thing here. June and Moira getting into a back and forth about who had it worse between the whores of Jezebels and the handmaids, and it finally ends suddenly when June's like, "Well, you know what? Yeah, you had it worse. You got raped a lot, and I just, got raped on a monthly basis." So they make up, just in time for a random Guardian to come in. And he takes the map and all the notes that they had, puts it in a safe, and because he's a man, and this is the Handmaid's Tale. He decides he has to rape them. So he pins down Mora, and June fights back, and the two of them tag team him, and bam, they're fighting back together, and fuck the patriarchy, and kicking him while he's down, and all that shit. It's super fucking empowering. Woo! Alright, but they do got a problem because they got a dead body, and when that guy doesn't check in, they're gonna have huge problems. So they gotta get the fuck out of there. Alright. Back over, Warden and Serena. Warden's officially proposing to Serena, gonna build her a library, let her write books and all that bullshit. Oh, shit. Let's see here. John and Myra back over there at Jezebel's. They are getting rid of the body. Luke is outside in the truck getting questioned, so that ain't good. Oh, they throw the body in the furnace, and then they make in the furnace at Jezebel's. I'm glad they had one of those. And then they make their way to the top parking garage where they run into Lawrence. And the lockdown has begun, and they need him. So June reveals herself to him, and Lawrence is like, "You gotta be kidding me. What the fuck? Get in the goddamn trunk." Goddamn. And that is the end of episode 6. Of course, as always, folks, wherever you're watching this, Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube, make sure you're hitting that like, share, subscribe, comment, all of it. Hit every button you see. Hell, hit the dislike button if there's one available. That works. I'm cool with that. I can take it. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Alright. We are just going to take a quick break in between there, so I am hoping to waste a little bit of time until that. Alrighty, folks. Well, so I went to edit this video and found myself with a nice little surprise. Unfortunately, I somehow turned off the microphone for the last third of it. So I'm gonna have to redo this mansplanation, but at least it's not the whole damn thing. Alright, also the lips will not sync up, and things will not sync up. And we'll probably end this early, because I also did the same thing for the back 9 edition. So, you're not gonna see the end of this anyway. Spoiler, I got destroyed. It ends. Well, alrighty, folks. So episode 6 starts out. June and Moira are in the back of the trunk, and Lawrence takes them to safety, gives them get out. Alright, June and Lawrence have a bit of a back and forth. Lawrence is like, hey, they knew that you were gonna try to get Hannah back, and, so that they were prepared for you. What the hell? And June's all like, oh, you could have stopped him. And Lawrence is like, yeah, well, bitch, you could have stopped Eleanor. Oh, shit. Of course, then Lawrence is like, yeah, by the way, all those commanders in there, they want me on the wall. So, that's coming soon. Oh, shit. Well, June's like, oh, hey, Lawrence, you might be a little bit in luck because we got a plan and we're gonna murder all of those commanders. Oh, shit. In the meantime, June sees Naomi and asks about Warren. And Lawrence is like, yeah, he became problematic. He's on the wall. But June tells him she's got to go back to Jezebel's and she's got to get that map and the names of them commanders and all that, you know. Or not the names of them, but yeah. Alright, and Lawrence is like, hey, I ain't got really any clearance or anything. I can't get you back in there. So June is like, let me use your phone. Alright. So June gives Nick a call. And, Nick gets over to Jezebel's to get the thing, but, little problem. He runs into friggin' Commander Bell, Commander Douchebag. Nick passes on a little secret-coded message to Janine that June is okay. But oh boy, Bell's giving him shit. He's like, yeah, I bet you're out here sneaking around. Oh, shit. But they get back, and Nick's like, oh, fuck, my father-in-law is here. Oh, so you better stay in the car, and if I'm not back in 5 minutes, head over to Serena's joint. And it's like, what, Serena's joint? Jesus. Ugh. Alrighty, so Lydia comes to visit Janine, who has been getting slapped the shit around by this douchebag Bell, and Lydia tells her she's gonna get her out of this horrible place, and they're gonna go to New Bethlehem, and then, and Janine's like, yeah, it's not possible, Lydia, get the fuck out of here. Jesus Christ, y'all stole, like, my children, so, yeah. Oh, boy. So back home at Nick's joint, alright, Nick gets confronted by his father-in-law, like, hey, I got a phone call about you earlier today. Were you at a brothel? Oh, boy. And he's just like, are you unfaithful to my daughter? That's all he gives a fuck about. Or what are you wrapped up in? And these lies gonna get you put on the wall, boy. So, we head on over to June, who figured out I better leave for Serena's place. She doesn't really trust her, but she's like, yo, I helped you, so you better friggin' help me. Like, what the hell, man? I need a bed for the night and breakfast. That's it. They have a little debate on Gilead, how awful it was, blah, blah, blah. And in the morning, Rita appears. Gives them a chance to catch back up. In the meantime, also, Lawrence is teaching Angela to play chess. Naomi's like, oh, you're going to put bad ideas in her head. And Lawrence is like, hey, pretty soon it ain't going to matter. Them other douchebags, they ain't going to matter. Alright, so the next morning, Nick shows up to pick up June, and he is like, hey, June, we gotta run away. Let's run away to Paris. Right now. Let's go right now. Kind of interesting. Why is he suddenly ready to go off to Paris? Well, while he's there, High Commander Wharton shows up to talk to Serena to let her know that he has uncovered a terrible plan to murder all sorts of multiple commanders at Jezebel's. And he is, it was Nick who uncovered this plan. Oh, fuck. Of course, Nick and June are hiding in the closet. And June is like, oh, fuck this motherfucker. That is the end of episode 6. Alright. Well, first off, folks, Number one, I got a couple of minutes more here to kill because I'm not playing or swearing at the game while doing this time. That's not really. I don't know. It's good that I learned how to do these voiceovers now. This could be a thing in the future, but we'll see. As far as predictions, yeah, as I've said, this Bell motherfucker, they are like building him up for a big death, I am sure. I mean, not to get too far ahead, I have watched the next episode, episode 7. Yeah, man, this dude is like, they are making sure you hate him. So, he's definitely getting a really bad death. It looks like my prediction of Serena ending up in charge of Gilead probably isn't gonna happen. You know, I mean, I got like 3 episodes left for that to happen. I thought that would happen in like season 4, and then she'd get overthrown, but would still be out there in a force. Typical TV bullshit. But yeah, it looks like the teaser is maybe she will end up in charge at the end, but I don't think she will. Just couldn't see it. I don't know. Well, alrighty then, folks. We are probably gonna just end it off then here. And as always, folks, keep up to date with what's going on with your daily dose of down.